Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program .24. And yes, my voice sounds different because I've decided to go and get an actual high quality microphone instead of just using the regular headset that I use. I went and bought one of those snowball microphones and so far I love it. So hopefully that should increase the quality of my videos quite a bit, at least in the audio department. Alright, so we have a nice lovely day here on planet Kerbin. Let's go check out what we've been doing here. And yes, we do have the Eve Explorer on the way out of the Kerbin system. There it goes. And there's our encounter with planet Eve, the next planet in towards the sun. And we have quite a bit of correcting to do because, as you can see, our orbital line here is off from Eve's orbit quite a bit. We have quite a bit of correcting to do, but we will go ahead and fly that mission and we'll make sure we get right on that. Last episode I put together a little spacecraft. There it is. Launched it and got it into orbit, and this is kind of what it looks like. Do a little turn. I have pre-attached a probe so that when we get to the surface of Eve, well, actually when we get to the Eve system, we'll be able to decouple this and let the probe land down there. These guys are going nowhere near the surface of Eve because they'll probably never come back again. That's how Eve works. Ooh, that was pretty nice. So, there we are, and I will make sure to do a bit of science as soon as we leave the Kerbin system. So let's go ahead and get that underway. Let's just get these guys going. They'll say they're last goodbyes to planet Kerbin. Hopefully not the last goodbyes ever, because that would be quite sad if we lost this crew. It's not quite our hero Kerbals, but no matter, we don't want to lose any Kerbals. That would just be bad. Alright, let's get things going a little faster here. About 1,000 times speed. So there it goes, spinning off in its orbit. I always feel like I get a paranoid notion I'm going to slam into the back of Minmus, but that is highly unlikely that would ever happen, even though Minmus is right there. It just feels that way. But we humans can't really begin to perceive the vastness of space. Like, I know Minmus is back there, but there's no way we're going to hit it. There, in fact, there it is right there, floating around. That is quite a close flyby, all things considered, but still nowhere near colliding with it. Yeah, we are getting quite close to it, but okay. So we'll just get out here to the edge of Kerbin's orbit, and once the nav ball flips, there it goes, just did it. So we are now interplanetary yet again on some kind of damned fool voyage. Alright, so it's showing our ascending node. We are 2.1, and yes, it is letting us place a maneuver node. Sometimes when you go in towards the inner planets, it doesn't let you place maneuver nodes, and it's like very finicky, but right now it seems to be having a good day, so that's very good. What we want to do though is, I think we want to just boost this orbit. Let's see, we are coming in, it looks like, too high for Eve at this current moment. So our current periapsis is 29 million. If we lower it, let's see what happens to it. It goes to 26 million, so that's a good thing. So we'll just lower it down 9 million, or is that worse, actually? No, that's actually getting better. So what I think I'll do is I'll just kind of use that as a guide. Basically, I'm pointing the spacecraft south, so we're just kind of lowering this orbit down to match Eve's orbit. And that's important. You want to make sure that you are on the right inclination, because if you're not, you're going to have to do a good deal of correcting, and it's going to just cost you more fuel. So again, I'm just going to watch the periapsis as I burn south. And I just want to see how far down we can get this thing. Let's go full throttle here. like that's about as much as it wants to do it. We'll do a bit of correcting a little further on once we get a little closer. For now, what I want to do is just come out here and actually do some science. What I want to do is what I missed last time. I missed the materials bay in high sun orbit. And we get a nice 275 from that, so make sure you guys do that when you get out here. Get that materials bay from interstellar space. And I think that's the only one we missed, really. I'm not going to take any of the other measurements unless, let me see, maybe... Nah, you know what? I'll leave all this stuff for Gilly or something, or the surf, you know, around Eve. I'm just going to warp ahead a little further. So you can see Kerbin leaving us to the right. That's because we kind of burned this way. But, no less, we are still traveling that way. Strange as that is. So I'll just let it get a little further, and then we'll just continue to correct things. Right around here. So we'll throw another node in, and let's see. It still looks like I'm hitting it a little too high, so I might want to try to just get that lower. Right now we're Eve periapsis is 25, which will go to, it looks like it's actually getting worse, which is very strange. 57. Yes, it is most decidedly worse, even though like it looks like it's getting, look, it looks like it's right on the line now, but yeah, it's no good. We don't want that. Just get rid of that node. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's move around. Let's mess around with going faster and slower. We'll pull the blue toggles. So let's pull in here, which gives us periapsis 22, which is decidedly better. So I'll go ahead and just, again, use that as a guide, and we'll try to get this encounter a little bit better. Sometimes it's tough finding where that maneuver node is. Oh, there it is, right down there. Right in the orange. Who knew? Well, maybe if you were good at the game, you would know. If I was good at the game, I should say. Alright, here we go. So I'm just going to, again, use that as a guide. And it is coming down a little bit. That's good. 22. Oh, it's going back up again. 23. Okay. So we'll leave it just like that. And that's amazing. I could swear that if we pulled down, it would just make our lives better, but it just doesn't want to. Just doesn't want to do anything like that. Maybe let's see what happens if we move this a little further along, and we'll pull down again. So 23, 18. That's a little better. All right. So we'll try this one instead. We'll go south from a little further along. And actually, let's see. If we just keep moving it, just keep sliding it around, maybe it'll change it even more. 17. 19, so it was like better over here. Yeah. But let's just do it from here. Maybe it'll help even more. Who knows? Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's coming down a little more. Okay, it's coming back up again. So again, we'll just fly a little further. Each time we move closer, we can just further correct what's going on here. Alright. Again, I just want to test out the blue nodes. We've got it down to 18. That doesn't really change it a whole lot. Maybe it actually makes it a little bit better. 19 now, so it doesn't really do much for us. What about going in? 21, that makes it worse. Let's see, we'll pull it down again. Maybe that'll help. Seems to be making it worse every single time. Let's just see what happens. We'll just keep zooming in here, and sometimes visually you can kind of see what's going on. Here we go. Getting a little bit closer. Again, I'm going to mess with the nodes here, see if we can just adjust it. Might try to pull forward and backwards, see if that helps. Ah, so if I pull forward, if I burn prograde, that actually seems to help. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Went a little past it there. Okay. So we will just check out what this does for us. 17, 16, 15. This is doing real good stuff right here. 14, 13, 12. So this is probably what we needed to do the whole time. I was messing around with the blue toggles. We just needed to burn prograde. There's always that like sweet spot, the sweet maneuver you gotta do. I'm glad I found it finally. I want to get this as close as possible. Preferably like in the... Oh, there, it's starting to get a little worse now. Okay. That's even better. Down to about 800,000. So now, I might just keep pulling down. Let's just see what that does. Because I still feel like we're hitting it high. See that? So we want to just fix that. I feel like it should help if we point south. Now, I could be crazy for thinking that, but I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, see, it is helping. All right, very good. Ooh, that's helping a lot. Okay. Basically, so that by the time we hit the encounter, we want to be right like on top of it. Now, it might say the encounter is getting worse, but I just really want to be kind of right on par with it. Right there. Looks good. And that kind of messed it up a lot, but we can always, again, fix it. Hopefully. Alright. That's kind of what we want, hopefully. Alright, now we probably have to do some other maneuvers here just to make sure that... Let's try pulling forward again. 35. Now that makes it worse. How about reverse? 33. That makes it worse. Let's see, what else? $17. That's better. 15. Alright, so we'll go with that. That's okay. These are all valid things that we have to do. You may be like thinking I'm crazy for doing all this, but this is kind of how you have to do it. Alright. Alright. Like if I left that where it was, we would end up in a strange kind of polar orbit, and I really didn't want to do that. Definitely not. So I'm just going to keep messing with this. It's probably really boring to watch, and I'm going to try to get it right down again. Alright, so I basically brought it down to 281. I'm going to leave it at that. I still think we're going to hit it a little bit too high, but let's just see what happens here. We can probably begin to see Eve pretty shortly. In fact, let's take a look. Eve should be somewhere. There she is. Yeah, we are. We're definitely above it, that's for sure. I tried as much as I could to get this periapsis as low as possible, but also, you know, on the right inclination, but it just didn't want to really do it, and I don't want to make that kind of burn right now, so I think we just might try to hit it and see what happens. See what kind of encounter we get here. Probably really messed up. Alright, here we go. Yep, I knew it. So we are kind of just coming straight down, and we're gonna like loop up in a weird orbit, weird what do you call that, polar orbit. So we got to correct that. And basically, what we're gonna do is pop a maneuver node, if it'll let me. There we go. And we basically have to make sure that we are going around the planet in a counterclockwise manner. So if we're going to get to Gilly, we're going to have to make sure we're going around the same direction that Gilly is going around. So let me just make sure that this is correct. We're coming around this way. Or is that? Nope, that's clockwise. Silly, silly me. Derped it up there. Let's go ahead and try it the other way. Now, yeah, that's better. Basically make it so that the triangle's pointed straight up, and that will also ensure that we get some semblance of some kind of equatorial orbit once all is said and done. Something like that. So we'll just go ahead and make this correction at the moment. Lord knows where that maneuver node might be. Somewhere around here. This is like the episode of correction burns. Very exciting, very interesting, I know, but I figure somebody might want to like actually know what I'm doing, you know, just so they can do it themselves. I tend to kind of make these videos like a tutorial, which I hope people like. If you guys want to see like less tutorial and more just get the mission done, then please let me know by all means, and I'll just cut all this crap out. I'll just show myself like getting to the planet. But if you like, you know, watching me kind of do it and how I go about achieving those things, you know, let me know also, and that'll help me make my content better for you guys. Alright, we're getting right down to the nitty-gritty. And because we burned a little bit earlier, we get to save a little bit of fuel. So that's practically what we wanted, but let's just see if we can get it even better. I'm just going to bring it in so that we are, whatchamacallit, bringing it in so that we can do a little air brake maneuver, and that'll be exciting. Here's the maneuver node, so basically we are pointing the ship straight at Eve, like in towards it, and I'm just going to get that Eve periapsis down. Get her down. So I'm just going to watch over here. I'm going to go for a periapsis of about 65, maybe 66, something like that. Here we are. 67, 66.7. Let's go with that. Let's just take a little look-see, just to make sure that that is exactly what we want. So we're gonna kind of like shoot off again in some kind of like strange inclination, but we can always correct that, because we gotta basically match Gilly's inclination, because we want to eventually go to Gilly, the moon there, Eve's moon. So I think that's what we'll leave it today. The periapsis is 66.7, and in the next episode, ooh, you know, we didn't even stop to look at Eve. That's kind of what it looks like right now. Ooh, very nice. Just a big cloudy orb, basically, which probably is what Venus looks like. But join us in the next episode, and we'll have a little more action there. We'll do an air brake maneuver, get into a stable orbit, and we'll probably send the probe down to the surface of Eve. So until then, thanks for watching.